Hello guys, this is Akshat Pandey from VedicAkshat.com, and today I'm going to talk about how do we find one's career or job, and what is the quality of career in one's life. Okay, so we are going to talk about your profession, we are going to talk about your jobs and what problems can be there in your job. So let's check it out. Okay, so the first thing that we do when we are talking about one's career or job, we see the 10th house of the horoscope. So the 10th house of the horoscope tells us about our office, about our work. That is the general understanding. So let's get into the deeper meaning. So the 10th house of the horoscope is not about what job or what work we do, but it is more about what is our internal system of doing a particular job, how much we are capable, and what is our attitude towards doing a certain job. It can be any job that you do in your office, or any job assigned to you to do it for any non income or non-profit basis that you want to do. Suppose that when you are a student and you're given a project to make it in school, and you have to some, that is a job that is given to, so how you're going to do it. So the 10th house will determine that what is our attitude to come in order to complete a certain task given to us. So the 10th lord and planets in the 10th house is going to tell me about this. The second thing that we have to see is the significator of the 10th house, that is Mercury. Mercury is the significator of the 10th house and tells us, are we able to perform jobs, or are we capable enough to do a certain job and earn money from it. So Mercury also becomes a very important factor in this for the job process. The word used for Mercury as a karaka for the 10th house is Chandra Suta by Maharishi Parashar. He talks about that the karaka of the 10th house is Chandra Suta. So what does Chandra Suta mean? Chandra Suta means the child of the moon. So Mercury becomes the primary karaka for the 10th house. The secondary karaka becomes moon, and the third karaka becomes Jupiter. So the 10th house is going to have multiple karikas depending upon what is the quality or what things that we are going to look at it. Each and every house multiple karikas. There is one primary karika, then there are secondary karikas for different aspects that it represents actually. So let's come to the 10th house first. So the 10th house represents our capability or our internal value system of how we work. So planets in the 10th house will give them their color. So if we have sun in the 10th house, then the person is very straight, direct, forward, and he might like to work for the government because he wants to have power, because the sun is in complete Digbala in the 10th house and the blessings of Indra is there. Second, if we have moon in the 10th house, so what is happening when moon is in the 10th house? The person needs to work with public, or person needs to have some social interaction while she, because he cannot work alone, because moon is very chanchal, you know that. So people who have moon in the 10th house, they actually are always changing their mind, because this nature of the moon, this moon is very fast actually. So they are completely changing their decisions. So they first what will happen, for 1 year they wanted to do something, the other year they wanted to do something, and the next year they want to try something else. So what is happening when there's too much motion at 10th house, you're not able to settle well in the one particular profession. So whenever we have moon in the 10th house, we recommend that the person has to be fixed, decide, have your mind fixed on a certain thing, and then start working actually. Okay, otherwise your mind will completely change, because 10th house is also the house of decision making, so your decisions always changing. Now we have, what happens when Mangal is in the 10th house. So when Mangal is in the 10th house, what is happening? There's a lot of heat energy in the 10th house, and there is always fighting in the office. Mangal is in Digbala, in complete strength in the 10th house, very powerful Mangal, and the Devta that blessing the Mangal in the 10th house, the Dharamraj Yamraj himself. The Yama is sitting in the 10th house, so there is always some kind of death energy in the 10th house. So people who have Mangal in the 10th house, they are more suited to do that type of work that require more of courage, more of their parakram, and more of testing, so that people who are working for in the defense, people who are working for the police, Mangal in the 10th house, they will become that work is suited for them. For someone who is working in a corporate culture or somewhere in a place like a sales team and he has Mangal in the 10th house, he's always end up fighting, or somebody will be fighting in the office because of that energy of the Mangal. Now we have Mercury in the 10th house. Mercury in the 10th house is good actually. You are capable, you are able to learn things, and you are able to perform talks based on your education and learning. Mercury in the 10th house is a good thing. Okay. Then we have Jupiter in the 10th house. So what is happening when Jupiter is there in the 10th house? A person is a very honest person. He likes to do his work with utmost honesty. So suppose if that person is to be in an environment where there's a lot of corruption or dishonesty is going on, or where you have to lie for your work to sell something, then that person is feeling very uncomfortable. So people who have Jupiter in the 10th house, it's better for them to go in a profession that has less of corruption, less of dishonesty, and you have to be more honest. So Jupiter in the 10th house, good for work, but an honest profession. The person will not like to indulge into dishonesty actually. Okay. And second thing is, when Jupiter in the 10th house, is that person may like to work not more than 6 hours, because Jupiter will say that, okay, I have given my 100%, now I need to take a rest. Now, Venus in the 10th house. Venus is absolutely fantastic in the 10th house, although it is in 0 Digbala, because Venus gets Digbala in the 4th house. But when Venus in the 10th house, then you are having a fantastic ability for management. People with Venus in the 10th house, they manage the office so well that they have the power to revive a dying office or industry. Suppose a manager of a new CEO comes in the company is becoming a sick corporation, and he starts to take over the business, and he has Venus in the 10th house, he has the power to revive that company. Saturn in the 10th house. Saturn is again, it's a malefic actually. So Saturn in the 10th house means that there will be delay in your work life or profession, and you need to work hard. So as long as you're going to work hard, that Saturn is going to give you success in your life. The success will be delayed, but you have to keep working very, very hard. That is what Saturn represents. And these people who have actually malefics in the 10th house, like Mars, like Saturn, like Rahu, Ketu, they become very, very stubborn, because 10th house is the house of decision making, as I said earlier. And when you have malefic, then the person's thought is very, very fixed actually. When Rahu is in the 10th house, Rahu is in the 10th house is fantastic. You can do any work you want actually. Rahu is having 10 heads. You're always thinking how to increase my work, how to increase my business, what things I can do. You can indulge into dirty politics. You can have politics in your office, and you can form a group and you can try to take over it. So Rahu in the 10th house is good for work in the times of Kali Yuga. Okay. But one thing that one person has to do, whenever the Rahu is in the 10th house, you should not indulge into any kind of cheating. Otherwise, this Rahu will make a downfall, because 10th house is the house where Vishnu sits, and you have to get some purity. Then Rahu will be absolutely majestic in the 10th house. The last is, we have Ketu in the 10th house. So Ketu is again in directional strength, Digbala, and the blessing of Ananta Deva is there. So people who have Ketu in the 10th house tend to have very, very high rise paying or high power jobs. They can be into an IS officers, or they can go have high post in government, because Ketu gives very good job, and you are absolutely very fast in your work. So now the problem with Ketu in the 10th house, that you are actually too fast in your work, so that you will start making mistakes, and other people might get jealous because you are finishing your projects before time. So whenever the Ketu is in the 10th house, try to do your work with little patience. Don't hurry up. Okay, take care. Don't make silly mistakes. Don't make mistakes in hurry. Then Ketu will be fantastic in the 10th house. So this is how we have to see what planets are in the 10th house. Determining the planets in the 10th house will tell us how happy or how sad we are. If benefics are in the 10th house, then we are happy. If malefics are in the 10th house, then we have a more sad disposition. Why I'm saying, why I'm doing this thing, because why I'm adding happiness and sadness in the 10th house, as 4th house is happiness, 10th house is sadness, because it is killing the happiness. So nobody likes to work like a hog every day. Okay, we feel we need the comfort of our home. Nobody wants to go to the office actually. Okay, so malefics in the 10th house, sun is not a malefic, remember. Malefics in the 10th house tell us that there might be high numbers in a life, because the sukha of the 4th house is being killed by the malefic in the 10th as its marka. Second thing, malefics in the 10th house also tells us there so that there will be a danger to the health of the father, because 9th house marka is the 10th. Okay, as long as we are under the protection of our father, of our guardian, then we don't need to work, because he is providing everything to us. The moment we step out of the protection of that, then we have to work and earn. So that is the one thing that we have to take note of. The second thing that we have to check, that how is the 10th lord placed, because 10th lord is going to provide you all the sources and everything. So if the 10th lord is very weak in your horoscope, then the ability to work is very diminished. No matter what good planets are there, that planet will not be able to perform well, because she's not getting the enough resources, because the lord of the house or the lord of the sign of the 10th in the 10th house is going to provide the resources or the material to the planet to work on. So the 10th lord has to be very strong. That is absolutely very important. If the 10th lord is weak, then there will be a problem in your work or professional life. The 10th lord has to be strong and well placed in the Rashi chart and in the D10 chart. In the Dasamsha chart also the 10th lord has to be strong. If in the D10 chart the 10th lord is very weak, then you are lacking that confidence to get your work done or take your work to the next level. Okay, so and then we have to see what are the bad houses of the 10th house. So when the 10th lord is sitting in the lagna, it is forming a siddhi yoga. You are perfecting your work. The work is always on your mind. When the 10th lord is sitting in the second house, then it is forming a singhasana yoga. So what is happening in the singhasana yoga, that you can inherit very well power, or you can inherit big work or job, and you can rise highs in your work. But that is going to come after a cost, because singhasana has to be inherited after somebody dies. 10th lord in the 6th house, you want to grow. The 10th lord is in upachaya houses from itself, but there will be some problems because the 3rd house as the karaka is mangal, there will be some fighting, and you have to show your confidence or parakram in order to do that. 10th house in the 10th lord is in the 4th house. Then what is happening over there, that you like to work from home, you like to be comfortable, or there might be issues in the home or office that you need to be separate, because 10th lord is going away, or you have to move away from your home country or your home but out for a job. 10th lord in the 5th house is absolutely okay, although it is in the 8th from itself, but since 5th house karaka is Jupiter, the astama dosha will not work, and you can achieve great power and great success with the help of Jupiter. That is your knowledge, that is your certifications, that is your studies and degrees actually. Good. 10th lord in the 6th house, problematic thing, that you need to work on your shed repose, you need to work on your shortcomings, and then you can grow. 10th lord in the 7th house, good. Literally it is in the 10th from itself, and the 7th house becomes very important. That means that you have to maintain your business, or you have to maintain your marriage for your work to grow. 10th lord in the 8th, not a very suited position for the 10th lord in the 8th, as your 8th house is the energy of retirement, and you always want to retire or give up the work. Or for somebody like as an astrologer who's practicing in occult, 10th lord in the 8th will be a fantastic. 10th lord in the 9th house, it's forming a dharma karma aditi yoga, but that this dharma karma aditi yoga will only function if the 9th lord is strong and associated with the 10th house. Otherwise you'll work as it is. 10th lord in the 9th house. Secondly, what I wanted to share, that a lot of young people after their college come to me, they say that their career is not starting and they are not able to find a job. So the first thing you have to know, always see that 9th house is the starting of your job actually. Okay, so if there's a malefics of the 9th house is bad or afflicted, then there will be a delay in starting your career. So this thing nobody knows, because 10th house is the starting of the career. 10th house, no, sorry, 9th house is the starting of the career, 10th house is the career itself, and the 11th house is the gain or the income that you gain from you doing the work done in the 10th house. Right? Okay. Second, so 9th house becomes very, very important. If there are malefics like Rahu, Saturn, Mars, then there absolutely is going to be a delay in the profession, or the profession may not be come to its peak until unless that maturity of that planet, the age of maturity is gone by. For example, if Saturn is in the 9th house, then what is happening? Then by the age till the age 36, there will be delay in the profession. After 36, Saturn's maturity will come and you will be able to achieve more. Now, let's see what are the other factors. So this is the 10th house. This is the 10th house, how you work, how your destiny for the work is coming over there. The second thing is that what work or where we going to work, that is seen 10th from the moon. So the 10th from the moon becomes very, very important factor in determining what place or where mind is going to work. That because your mind has to be at work in order to get the work done. So if there are malefics in the 10th house from the moon, then there will be trouble with the office. Suppose like Saturn or Mars are sitting in the 10th from the moon, then the office is feeling like Yama Yoga and there will be delay in the profession, there will be difficulties in the profession. So always look in the 10th house from the moon. How is the 10th lord placed? If the 10th lord from the moon is ill placed, then you may be very, very capable in doing the work, but you are not going to work because the office is at a problem or your place of work is hampered actually. Okay. 10th house from the Lagna, your ability to do work, your destiny of the work. 10th house from the moon, it's your office, the place or the mind is where we're going to work. Third thing that we have to check is that people say that okay, some people comes with problem. Oh, I have problems with the profession, that I'm not able to find the right opportunity, I'm not finding job openings, I'm not getting a job. Then what you're going to see? We see that okay, 10th house is good, 10th from the moon is good, but this person is not having an opportunity to work. Then we see the 10th house from the sun. The 10th house from the sun is our opportunity to work. What gives us opportunity to work? This is a very deep concept actually. See, the sun is getting Digbala in the 10th house, right? So the 10th house from the sun is a place from where the sun is in 0 Digbala. That means that the Indra is against. So you have to realize that you're not the king yourself and you need to work for somebody. That the sun is going into 0 Digbala for you, that you need to work for somebody. So that is the place where you're going to find opportunities for new work. Okay, the success of work is coming from somewhere else. Success of work is coming from Jupiter. Jupiter will come to that as the Karka. The Karka is Chandra Suta, that is Mercury. Chandra Suta, we have to see Mercury, we have to see Moon, and we have to see Jupiter. Our mind, our finance, our learning capabilities, and our knowledge, then when they come together, they give us success. That is Chandra Suta. And there's a huge dictum that was taught to me by my guru on Chandra Suta. And no, it's been there in Parashar, but I don't think that many people know about this. So for success in the work, we have to see how is a Jupiter from the 10th house, how is Mercury, and how is Moon. If Jupiter, Moon, and Mercury are well placed, then we can get absolute success in any work that we do. Because Mercury and Jupiter are forming the Bhagavad Gita Yoga, and Moon and Jupiter are forming the Gajkeshwar Yoga, and Moon and Mercury are forming the Sharda Yoga or Saraswati Yoga. So these are the different things. These planets combination is very good because Mercury will try to copy the plan that is associated. Mercury is with Jupiter, Bhagavad Gita. You read Bhagavad Gita, absolutely is going to be fine. Now, after seeing these the things, there are many other factors actually associated with determining what kind of job, what are the bad periods or what are the good periods of the job. We have to see that the Samsa or T10 chart also what are planets in the 10th house of the T10, what are planets in the 6th or in the second house of the T10 for someone who is doing a service or a job, for somebody who is doing a business. We look at the 7th house of the T10. What is happening in the 7th house of the T10? The malefics are there, then there's a problem with business. Too many malefics in the 10th house, there's a problem. There's a problem in the office or the company that you're working in. So I'm giving you a general understanding, because if I wanted to cover the whole D10, then it's going to take around 2 to 3 days to just elaborate what are the things we can D10, because all the Dikpal Devtas are sitting in that D10 only. Okay, and the concept is coming from there. So this is how you have to check into D10 also. The third thing that you have to check is your Amatya Karka. How is Amatya Karka? What is my soul is saying for my work? Whether I have to do some work, what type of work I can do from my soul. I practice Vedic astrology, and my Amatya Karka is my Jupiter. It is Lord of the ninth house. So although I studied law and I wanted to become an advocate, but when I met my guru, he taught me astrology, and I took after his profession. So that is my Jupiter Atma Karaka telling me, being that your soul level karma is that you have to follow the work of your guru. This is how we can check. Third thing, that is based on the Panchanga, what Karna you are born in, what is the Karna Lord, how your profession and destiny are matching. So many details are there actually. But the first basic thing that you're going to see is the 10th house from the Lagna, the 10th house from the moon, your 10th Lord in the Rashi, and the D10 chart. If these three are having a problem, forget about the rest. You will have a career problem. So this is how. And how to see when your career is going to problem. Any dasha, that is any dasha of the planet that is not placed well from the 10th house or the 10th lord, or any malefic transits from the 10th from the moon or in the 10th house, like Saturn's transit in the 10th from the moon or 10th from the Lagna, is a conjunction. That means there will be a trouble in the office. So these are the things, these are the few of the many things that you have to check. I have tried to give it more and more, and you will, once you start looking at these basic things, then you can achieve more by studying more, and you will see that how the other factors are associating. What is the role of Amatya Karaka? You can't say that my Amatya Karaka is ill placed and will not do any work. No, you will do work, but how is the soul is related to the work, that is Amatya Karaka. So one of the good tips for you is that always apply for a new job on the day of your 10th Lord. For suppose somebody who is born on a Mesha, whose Lagna is Mesha, Aries, so he should apply for the new job on Saturday. So Saturday is the 10th day of the 10th Lord. That is going to guarantee that you get into a new job. I think I will do for it today, and thank you